Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome. My name is Astrid Chan, and it's my honor to be your MC of this special event. 各位嘉賓午安，好歡迎大家嚟臨今日我哋嘅新聞發佈會。我係今日嘅大會主持人陳子清。What you have just witnessed is more than an announcement. It is the beginning of a new chapter for the Shaw Prize. 大家剛剛見證嘅唔係一個簡單嘅消息公佈，而係我哋邵逸夫獎新篇章嘅開始。For more than 20 years, the prize has honored groundbreaking contributions in 3 distinguished fields: astronomy, life science and medicine, and mathematical sciences. Today, it takes a historical step forward by announcing the establishment of the 4th prize category, the Shaw Prize in Computer Science. And this marks the first expansion of the prize since its inception, and we are truly honored to be part of this special moment. 喺過去20幾年，邵逸夫獎一直都係致力表彰喺天文學、生命科學與醫學以及數學科學3個領域嘅傑出貢獻。今日，邵逸夫獎邁向歷史性嘅一步，宣布增設第4個獎項嘅類別——邵逸夫計算機科學獎。今次係邵逸夫獎自成立以嚟首次擴展獎項嘅範疇，而我哋係非常之榮幸能夠參與其中。To guide us through this milestone, we are privileged to have leaders with us as we embark on this exciting new chapter. 我哋今日非常之榮幸可以邀請到喺幕後帶領住籌備新獎項嘅4位領軍人物嚟到呢一度，同我哋一齊分享同埋講解新獎項嘅細節。Our speakers will deliver their speeches in English, followed by a Cantonese summary. 4位講者將會用英語發言，隨後會有簡短嘅廣東話總結。Now, without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker, Dr. Raymond Chan, Chair of the Shaw Prize Foundation, to the stage. 首先，我哋有請邵逸夫獎基金會主席陳偉文博士。Dr. Chan, please.
Welcome to today's press conference. It is a great pleasure to see you all here. We gather at a moment that I believe begins one of the most exciting chapters in the history of the Shaw Prize. For many years, people have asked me, will there be a 4th prize category? Which field will it honor? Today, I'm proud to share the answer with you. The Shaw Prize was founded by the late Mr. Run Shaw in 2002, and the first awards were presented in 2004. Since then, 3 categories, astronomy, life science and medicine, and mathematical sciences, have recognized over 110 remarkable individuals whose work has dramatically shaped our world. We have always stayed true to Mr. Shaw's founding vision, to celebrate discoveries and breakthroughs that help further societal progress, enhance quality of life, and enrich humanity's spiritual civilization. The last part is especially important. It reminds us that the prize is not only about practical discoveries, but also about ideas with strong intellectual depth that help us better understand our world. In the 2 decades since the inception of the prize, the world has changed immensely. Technology has transformed nearly every aspect of our lives. How we live, learn, work, connect, and even dream about the future. Computing power that once filled entire rooms now fits in our pockets. and intelligent systems are helping us tackle some of humanity's biggest challenges. These advances have reshaped our world in ways we could hardly imagine at the beginning of this century. They have also prompted our decision to now expand the Shaw Prize. I'm thrilled to announce today that we are celebrating a new prize category, the Shaw Prize in Computer Science. As mentioned, computer science pervades everything we do. This field is bursting with bold, thought-provoking questions that push human thinking to new limits, demanding vigorous reasoning, imagination, and insight. Computer science enriches our understanding in profound ways. With contributions from brilliant minds across cultures and continents, computer science is going to shape the coming decades and countries of progress. This new prize category is a natural extension of our existing awards, reflecting the intellectual contributions and global impact that the Shaw Prize has always sought to honor. Preparation began in 2024 with a planning committee chaired by Professor Tony Chan. Later, we were honored to have Professor Jennifer Chase join us as chair of the selection committee for the Shaw Prize in Computer Science. Together with the committee members, she will review the nominations received from September to November this year, with the inaugural laureates to be announced in spring 2027. Professor Kenneth Young, as chair of the Shaw Prize Council and vice chair of the Board of Adjudicators, will ensure the process remains aligned with the standards of our existing awards. We are extremely excited and confident about this big step. By adding computer science, the Shaw Prize will continue to spotlight the most groundbreaking ideas of our time, ideas that benefit humankind. Thank you, and we look forward to the amazing work this new award will celebrate in the years to come. 現在我用廣東話作簡單嘅總結。首先歡迎各位蒞臨今日嘅新聞發佈會，共同見證邵逸夫獎正式增設第4個獎項類別——邵逸夫計算機科學獎。這次係自邵逸夫獎2004年頒發以嚟首次增設獎項。喺呢20多年嚟，科技巨變重塑世界，計算機科學已融入我們生活各個面向。這個科學除咗帶嚟應用方面嘅影響，亦係一個深厚嘅知識學科，不斷拓展人類思想嘅界限。增設計算機科學獎係邵逸夫獎現有體系嘅自然延伸，體現獎項嘅一貫嘅精神。獎項籌備工作喺2024年開展，我們對這一重大里程碑充滿期待同埋信心。邵逸夫獎將繼續聚焦當今時代最具突破性並真正造福人類嘅偉大思想。多謝大家，我哋期待見證新獎項未來嘅表彰嘅每一個卓越嘅成就。多謝。
多謝陳博士。Thank you, Dr. Chan. And now it's my pleasure to invite Professor Kenneth Young, Chair of the Shaw Prize Council and Vice Chair of the Board of Adjudicators, to share a few words with us. 接住落嚟，我哋有請邵逸夫獎理事會主席以及評審委員會副主席楊江海教授。Professor Young, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Chan has just spoken of the initiative of the Shaw Prize Foundation in launching the prize in computer science for first award in 2027. I just want to say a few words about how the new prize fits in with the 3 existing prizes, which were first awarded in 2004 and which have gained global recognition in the intervening years. The 3 existing Shaw Prize categories, namely astronomy, life science and medicine, and mathematical sciences, were chosen at the very beginning with guidance from scholars who helped establish the prize, including Yang Zhenying and Professor Yang Zhenying and Professor Ma Lin. These fields were selected because they align closely with Mr. Shaw's vision for the prize, to serve humanity and to push forward the horizons of knowledge. Over the years, the prize has recognized many fundamental breakthroughs in these areas. And this new prize in computer science will be a significant addition to the portfolio of research directions that will be honored and celebrated. In terms of governance, the new prize will be run in parallel with the 3 existing ones and within the same framework and the same selection guidelines. I should perhaps reiterate for the record the stated guidelines applicable to all the prizes, and here I quote. The Shaw Prize honors individuals regardless of race, nationality, gender, and religious belief who are currently active in their respective fields and who have recently achieved distinguished and significant advances, who have made outstanding contributions in academic and scientific research or applications, or who in other domains have achieved excellence. The Shaw Prize is dedicated to furthering societal progress, enhancing quality of life, and enriching humanity's spiritual civilization, end quote. Needless to say, the monetary award will be at the same level, namely $1.2 million to be shared by the laureates of that year, which can be 1 individual, sometimes 2, occasionally even a maximum of 3. At the forefront of the selection process is a selection committee of distinguished experts drawn from around the world, chaired by Professor Jennifer Chase. The selection committee is tasked with making 1 single set of recommendations for ratification by the Board of Adjudicators, chaired by Professor Reinhard Genzel, and then by the Council. The timeline anticipates the start of nominations in September 2026 and the selection process to conclude in late spring 2027. In bringing the initial ideas forward, shaping the process within the existing framework, we have benefited from the advice of a planning committee. Professor Tony Chan will tell you about that process, and then Professor Chase will speak specifically on the work going forward. 我簡單用中文總結一下。邵逸夫獎喺創立之初咧，係確立咗3大獎項嘅類別：天文學啦、生命科學、語醫學啦，以及數學科學。呢一個架構咧，係喺例如楊振寧教授同埋馬林教授等邵逸夫獎始創嘅成員嘅共同建議底下咧設立嘅。多年以嚟，邵逸夫獎係表彰咗喺呢啲領域裏邊好多基礎性嘅突破，而新增嘅計算機科學獎將會為獎項所覆蓋嘅研究方向咧增添極具分量嘅一環。獎項嘅獎金當然係維持不變嘅，每項獎金係120萬美元，由當年該獎項嘅得獎者均分。得獎者可以係1個人，亦都可以由2個甚至最多咧3個人共同獲得。而喺獎項嘅管治方面咧，新獎項將會同現有3個獎項係平衡嚟運作，而且咧係沿用同一個框架同埋遴選嘅準則。遴選委員會將會推薦單一份嘅名單，交由評審委員會審理，然後交由理事會確認。根據目前嘅規劃咧， 預計喺今年嘅9月開始接受提名，遴選嘅過程咧，將於喺2027年春季末嘅時候咧係結束嘅。多謝大家。
多謝楊教授。Thank you, Professor Young. It is my pleasure to welcome our next speaker, Professor Tony Chan, Chair of the Planning Committee and member of the Selection Committee for the Shaw Prize in Computer Science. 而家有請邵逸夫計算機科學獎籌劃委員會主席及遴選委員會委員陳繁昌教授。Professor Chan, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. 午安各位。First, I speak in English. When the Shaw Foundation contacted me about getting involved with the 4th Shaw Prize in Computer Science, my first reaction was, it is about time. And my second reaction was, it's an honor and privilege to be asked to chair the planning committee. It really is. It really was. It is the first new Shaw Prize since the first ones awarded in 2004, as you just heard. Now, I have been quite familiar with the Shaw Prize since its inception, having attended many of the ceremonies and serving on the selection committee of the Mathematical Sciences Prize in 2013. The Shaw Prize has long been regarded as a distinguished symbol of Hong Kong's commitment to advancing knowledge and honoring scientific achievement. It recognizes outstanding contribution to 3 fields: astronomy, life science and medicine, and mathematical sciences. Fields of profound intellectual and scientific importance. In this tradition, the establishment of the 4th Shaw Prize in Computer Science is both natural and timely, reflecting the transformative role of computing in shaping modern research and also society. When I studied for my own PhD in computer science at Stanford more than 50 years ago, computer science was a new field, not taken seriously by many skeptics. For example, Stanford's computer science department was less than 10 years old when I enrolled. And my undergraduate alma mater, Caltech, did not even have a computer science department. But 50 years later, today, after 2 AI winters, computer science has made huge advances, and AI in particular is affecting almost every aspect of our economy and lives. Additionally, computer science as a field has emerged in recent years as both a fundamental discipline as well as having fast evolving wide applications in all aspects of modern life. It is therefore also very timely to start a new Shaw Prize in computer science. One of my first tasks as chair of the planning committee is to invite and convene members who have unassailable credibility and visibility in the field, experienced with a vision for rapidly evolving disciplines, who are themselves highly decorated and familiar with major prizes and awards, and finally, who together covers the wide spectrum of subfields of computer science. From the beginning, I wanted the absolute best people to serve on the planning committee. And we were truly fortunate that almost all the people I approached agreed promptly to serve. It bodes well for the vision of the prize that the best people chose to participate in this prize. Let me introduce the members of the planning committee. They are on the screen. Of course, we have Dr. Raymond Chen, you heard him just a moment ago, sitting on the committee. We also have Professor Jack Dongara, President John Hennessy, Professor John Hopcroft, Dr. Harry Shum, Professor Jeanette Wing, and Dr. Eden Wood. These members include 3 Turing Award winners, 1 Turing Award Selection Committee member, 2 former university presidents, 1 current university senior vice president, 2 former senior leaders of major industrial corporations, and with all of them being members of national academies. I am personally extremely gratified to have had the privilege of leading this very distinguished group of computer scientists. The planning committee met 4 times, all online. We consider all the key issues around a new prize in computer science. For example, here's some of the issue that we looked at. Is there a need for a prize? What would be the long-term vision? How broad should the scope be? How to distinguish it from other existing computer science-related prizes? How to balance between basic advances versus applied impact, etc., etc. No stone was left unturned. Now, while at first we did not always agree on all the issues, at the end, collective wisdom wins the day, and we had unanimous agreement. We benchmarked against major existing prizes in computer science, and we laid the fuse. We want our prize to be broad and inclusive, to recognize fundamental advances as well as broad impact, and to accommodate, most importantly, future development, yet unknown. I believe that the guiding principle we came up with will have unanimous support from all members and should serve as the bedrock for the long-term success of the prize. Finally, on a personal note, I'm extremely happy that my good friend and longtime UCLA colleague, Professor Jennifer Chase, has agreed to serve on the inaugural selection committee. Since she is the current and inaugural Dean of Computing, Data Science, and Society at the University of California at Berkeley, and was the faculty at UCLA and a corporate research leader at Microsoft. She is a recognized leader in both computer science and mathematical sciences globally. With her experience, credentials, and wide global networks, the selection committee is in good hands. Jennifer has graciously invited all the planning committee members to serve on the selection committee. And I would like to leave this equally exciting part of introduction to her. Before I close this English part, I want to say we need the community support to recognize the prize, to help promote it, and to nominate credible candidates. With Jennifer in the lead, and with the support and guidance of the Shaw Prize Council and Foundation, the Shaw Prize in Computer Science is off to an excellent start. 我而家用中文嚟總結一下。我好高興能夠參加呢個同埋籌劃邵逸夫計算科學獎。作為呢個籌劃委員會嘅主席，我個首要嘅任務之一係邀請同埋召集喺呢個領域裏面最具公信力同埋聲望嘅成員。非常幸運，幾乎所有我邀請嘅專家都立即欣然應允。籌劃委員會深入探討設立計算機科學獎嘅各個核心議題。我哋以計算科學同埋相關領域嘅現有主要獎項為基準，力求新獎涉獵廣泛、包容多元。我相信我哋制定嘅指導嘅原則得到所有成員嘅一致支持，並將成為獎項長遠成功嘅基石。最後，我好高興我多年嘅好友同埋同事，加州大學洛杉磯分校嘅長年同事 Professor Jennifer Chase 同意擔任呢個首屆遴選委員會嘅主席。憑藉佢嘅經驗、資歷同埋廣闊嘅全球人脈，遴選委員會必定能夠高效運作。我哋誠意呼籲計算機科學界別嘅支持，協助推廣呢個新嘅獎項，以及提名優秀嘅候選人。多謝各位。
多謝陳教授。Thank you, Professor Chen. And finally, let's welcome Professor Jennifer Chase, Chair of the Selection Committee for the Shaw Prize in Computer Science. Professor Chase, please. 我哋最後有請邵逸夫計算機科學獎遴選委員會主席 Professor Jennifer Chase 蔡思教授，有請。
Good afternoon, fellow scientists and friends. It is a profound honor to speak with you as chair of the selection committee for the newly established Shaw Prize in Computer Science. I want to begin by thanking the Shaw Prize Foundation for recognizing the importance of our field by creating this new prize category, one that places computer science alongside the 3 long-standing awards of the Shaw Prize. Computer science is a relatively young discipline compared to these other established fields, but it is rapidly transforming our lives and many disciplines of scientific inquiry, enabling new opportunities for discovery. Given its pervasive reach and influence, this naturally raises the question, what exactly is computer science? At its heart, computer science is a scientific study of information and computation in all their forms. How information is collected, represented, processed, and transformed to solve problems, create new possibilities, and deepen our understanding of the world. It is far broader than programming or any single technology such as AI. Computer science is a profound intellectual discipline grounded in logic, mathematics, rigorous abstraction, and experimentation, much like the other basic sciences. The computer systems and models we create are complex systems analogous to those in the life sciences or astrophysics, which require deep work to understand, as well as deep insights to ultimately have impact on human beings, as in medicine. We can alter the way these computer systems and models are defined, much as we alter the axioms underlying the mathematics we study, and also our models of astrophysics and the life sciences. It is true that crucial forms of engineering bridge foundational discovery to real-world applications, applications that have emerged rapidly in recent years and that many of us are using at this very moment. But technologies wouldn't be possible without original scientific discovery and breakthroughs. This focus on foundational excellence is, to me and to many of our colleagues, the very essence of computer science. Recently, we have seen that the Nobel Prizes in biology and medicine and in physics and the Abel Prize in mathematics have been given for work in computer science. I am absolutely delighted that computer science is now becoming part of the mission of the Shaw Prize. Allow me to introduce the distinguished members of the selection committee. First, Professor Tony Chan, former president of the Hong Kong University Science and Technology here in Hong Kong and of KAUST in Saudi Arabia. He is also professor emeritus at UCLA. And as he mentioned to you, he and I were colleagues at UCLA Mathematics starting in 1987, long time ago. Professor Jack Dongara. Jack is professor emeritus, Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, University of Tennessee. Professor Dongara received the 2021 Turing Award for his foundational contributions to high-performing computing software. Professor John Hennessy, James F. and Mary Lynn Gibbons Professor of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. Professor Hennessy was an absolutely legendary president of Stanford University who helped transform the university into what it is today. He received the 2017 Turing Award for his foundational work in the design and evaluation of computer architectures. Professor Jan LeCun, Executive Chairman of AMI Labs, and Jacob T. Schwartz, Professor of Computer Science at New York University. Professor LeCun received the 2019 Turing Award for foundational work in deep neural networks, which, as we know, subsequently led to the generative AI revolution. Professor LeCun also served as chief AI scientist at Meta for many years. Professor Harry Shum, council chairman of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Professor Shum is perhaps best known for his time as Executive Vice President of AI and Research at Microsoft, where he initially began as a highly regarded vision researcher. Professor Joseph Safakis, Emeritus CNRS Research Director, Verimag Laboratory, France. Professor Safakis won the 2007 Turing Award for his foundational work on model checking, a mathematically deep algorithmic verification system which has been used for both software and hardware. Finally, Professor Jeanette Wing, Executive Vice President for Research, Professor of Computer Science at Columbia University. Professor Wing has also had leadership positions at Carnegie Mellon University, the National Science Foundation of the United States, and Microsoft Research. Our committee brings together extraordinary expertise from around the globe and from many, many subdisciplines of computer science, reflecting the international and interdisciplinary nature of computer science today. This diversity ensures a balanced, inclusive, and rigorous evaluation process. As for me, being a part of the Shaw Prize family has a particular resonance. I have an undergraduate degree in biology and a PhD in physics. I was a professor of mathematics beginning in 1987, and then starting in 1997, I went to Microsoft to found and lead computer science laboratories combining computer science with mathematics, physics, life sciences, and other areas. I've published in all 4 of these fields and am currently a professor in 2 of them. I deeply look forward to working with my fellow committee members in selecting the first laureate or laureates of the Shaw Prize in Computer Science, which will be announced in 2027. The nomination period will open this September, 2026. I strongly encourage invited leaders in our field from across the world to support this endeavor by nominating individuals they consider to be most deserving for this tremendous honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chase. Thank you very much. I will now provide a Cantonese summary of Professor Chase's address on her behalf. 我而家謹代表 Professor Chase 蔡斯教授用廣東話作簡單嘅總結。蔡斯教授好高興邵逸夫獎基金會設立呢一個新嘅獎項，認可呢一個學科嘅重要性。佢強調計算機科學本質上係一門研究信息同埋計算嘅學科，涵蓋範圍廣闊，遠遠超過編程，又或者係人工智能嘅單項技術。背後嘅邏輯、系統同埋理論嘅模型，無論係複雜嘅程度、 定係研究嘅方式，都係同其他基礎科學相似。佢又指出，雖然計算機科學嘅應用喺近年嚟發展迅速，但係如果冇最初嘅科學發現同埋突破，呢啲嘅技術根本唔會出現。追求卓越嘅基礎研究，正正就係計算機科學嘅精髓所在。新獎項嘅委員會匯聚全球嘅專家，體現咗計算機科學嘅國際化以及跨學科嘅特質，同時亦都係確保咗評選過程公正、包容同埋嚴謹。佢呼籲獲得邀請嘅領袖要踴躍去提名心目中最適合嘅人選。On behalf of the Shaw Prize Foundation, we are pleased to announce the formal establishment of the Shaw Prize in Computer Science, and please follow the prize developments. 我謹代表邵逸夫獎基金會宣布，邵逸夫計算機科學獎正式設立。咁請大家繼續要留意我哋獎項嘅後續發展。Separately, the laureates of 2026 Shaw Prize in Astronomy, Life Science and Medicine, and Mathematical Sciences will be announced this coming May. So please stay tuned and thank you. 2026年度邵逸夫天文學獎、生命科學與醫學獎以及數學科學獎嘅得獎名單將會喺5月公佈，敬請期待。多謝。